For this afternoon's job, we have a little sewer line repair. This lady called, and I guess they had a plumber come over here and scope it, but somewhere around in here is where it hooks on to the riser for the city sewer, because there is the sewer main, which there's two manholes right there, and it basically just kind of runs down this easement or whatever right here. But supposedly either the 45 or the fitting, I guess, where it hooks onto the riser, or the main, one of the two, they weren't real clear, is broke. So I'm going to dig this up and see if I can't repair it. So I think it's about, well, that sewer lid, I took it open down there, and it's maybe 7 or 8 feet, so it may be a little bit, it may not be much shallower here, I don't know, 6 to 10 feet, and it's supposed to be, it's either 66 or 76 feet off that first lid, which puts it in this range right here. But it's supposed to kind of run down from the map they gave me on the edge of her property, which it's just maybe a couple feet inside that fence, and runs down here, and I'm guessing it's gonna kind of maybe 45, but there's no telling. So let's jump in here out of the rain and get this thing exposed. Alright, I'm gonna pull this other side off. This is a phone line. I don't have any idea if it's any good or not, because it wasn't located. So I'm gonna say it's not, because this was right in the path of the tornado in 2011. This house probably didn't get destroyed, but I bet it probably got the roof taken off of it, and new siding and everything. The only reason I say that is because that street right up there where that green goes is that, and that where that truck's coming down there, that's pretty much the edge of the tornado. And it was I don't know, it was right here down that road, and maybe not quite a mile over was the or maybe it was just a mile wide swath at that time. But these houses were right on the south side of where it went through. This is also some of our old sewer main here. So chances are, I mean, the way this alley looks, I think everything else is overhead. So this, like I said, this cable could feed those pedestals, or it could just be abandoned. But we're just gonna try to kind of not cut it in two. To dig back, I think I'm right there. There should be a T in that concrete main, I think, or a Y possibly, is what I'm trying to clean off. And then I'll have to go probably get a different size fern cove, because I think I've only got one that goes to 4-inch or a 4 to 6. But this will be bigger for the outside dimensions of that concrete. I think we found the main culprit. So that is the sewer riser. It's completely broke. And also what I think started that, none of this was bedded in clean rock or anything. And right here somewhere, I'm sure I hit that on part of it, but there was like a 45. It's kind of weird, like it went down and then another 45 and then like a 90. But I think that had already broke right there, because this piece was running uphill, which maybe broke that. But I'm guessing whenever they put it in, they probably backfilled it with all this junk, and either broke it then, or over time it settled and pushed down on that and busted it off there. But yeah, that's where it's been broke. So I mean, even if this was cracked on that 45, which that's a new one I just put on top of there once that other piece fell off, so I could go over there and dig that out without getting dirt in there. But yeah, you can see the sewage around there. So unfortunately, the first hole that I dug on was for the old riser. Apparently, I don't know, they obviously didn't use it or something. So I kind of looked through that piece of paper I had, that map, and because there's numbers and stuff all over it. And they had another one that was like 136, which this one's only maybe 115 away from that lid. But I kind of got behind the house, and the clean out comes right down that wall. So I just tried to kind of line it up, I guess, and she told me it was about 150 feet when they snaked it, because it looked like up here was going to be about in line with where that was at, but that's too close of a distance. So yeah, I lucked out, moved down, and found it. But unfortunately now it's 6 o'clock, so I have to wait till a plumbing store opens in the morning to get that saddle and band. But I'll probably go ahead and dig around and expose the main, and then in the morning I'll show you guys. It's, you know, literally just like a saddle that goes over half of that main line with these two great big metal bands that go all the way around it. You tighten down, and then you can just glue your riser pipe on there. I may come up and 45 it over. I've got to put a clean out in. You're supposed to put it on the property line, which I think we're over that, but I may put it in somewhere right here, at least where they can see it. Like I said, I'm just trying to think and speak at the same time. That doesn't always work. So yeah, let's clean this up a little bit, and then go get me, I got some that orange safety fence I'll have to put up all the way around this, because you can tell it's a pretty good sized hole, but I tried to bench it back, but still don't want anyone over here playing around and fall in it tonight. So we will pick this project up in the morning. We are back this morning with the parts. I ended up going with this rubber Fernco to go over there. As I said, these plastic ones that everyone's got doesn't really fit the concrete pipe the best. These will work. I don't know. I've heard that the city's not real fond of these, because I think some people installed them the wrong way, but I'm going to take that one off. We'll put this one around and then stub up the new piece of pipe, and then I'll actually put some clean rock around it and pour concrete around these is what you're supposed to do. They should have done concrete on that one as well, but and then after we do that, we'll get the pipe all together, and I'm going to fill the majority of this hole up with clean rock, and then put a clean out on it so they can locate this riser. That was part of the deal, is they just tapped the main, but they didn't get it inspected, I'm guessing, or tell anyone from the city. So there was no records or anything like that on the map of where this one was at, but now we know. So let's get to switching these parts up. I'm gonna need to get me some muck boots. I'm actually going to back the peat in here, dip some clean rock out of it and put it around there, and go ahead and get my concrete so I'm not walking in mud and other stuff. And because that's done, I don't need to make it any taller or shorter. And then yeah, kind of get that backfill with the clean and the concrete and let that be working on. And then I'm gonna figure out, probably just try to get an angle where the 45 will run into here, so we won't come up much. I may have to cut a little bit of that off, but at least I'm not sliding around in the mud. And then I'll do that, and then somewhere maybe have to dig past here a little bit more and go ahead and put my clean out in where it's kind of more on the property line. So let's do that first. supposed to have a clean out like right at the property line before it goes into the easement. And there's not one in here. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. It'll also be a good way I can tell the homeowner where it's at and the measurement over there, and they'll know where the riser's at, because whoever put this in after the house was built back in 2011, they just tapped the main, but it couldn't have been inspected or anything, because there was no sign of clean rock or anything around it, so what they did wouldn't actually pass. And then when they do tap the main, the city likes to be here, so then they can pull measurements off the manholes around here and put it on their city maps. That way, for future reference like this, if you have an issue, I can go down there to the city and get a map and know, okay, I'm 116 feet north of that manhole down there. Saves a lot of guesswork. The compaction wheel with me. I don't know how well it's actually going to work because this stuff is so muddy. We'll try it. It may just gum up. And probably what I'm going to do is just use this one piece of pipe. I got these two other sticks, but I want to make sure I got enough. Which I should, instead of running new. I may run new from I'm gonna put a sanitary tee in here for the clean out. I'll cut that and shovel it and put that. Jump out, do a little investigating, some shoveling, and get this put together. Yeah, now I can get my my pipe stubbed up for the clean out, and then I should be able to get everything hooked up from there. So, well, let's get to it. We're all hooked back up, put together. I just got the clean out sitting on top of here because I'm gonna have to trim it down some. This piece of pipe's just bracing everything up. Whoa, that fell. But then, yeah, got it all hooked back up. It's not the cleanest. I cut it a little short here, so I needed to make it longer. But that is one thing I was gonna point out I like about the, same thing with the riser. It was a little too short, but with the rubber, because this pipe is slightly leaned back because it doesn't, kind of the way this is, you kind of gotta go with what angles you got. That's a 22, and then those are 245s instead of just 190, but it makes it with the angle that riser is just a touch, you know, leaning back that way for everything to line up, but everything's in there nice and tight now. When I first did it, it wasn't quite in that 22 enough, and so I made it longer. I like this because it seems like it goes in this coupler just a little bit more than it did that 22 right there. So it's not the cleanest job, I know. I'm not a plumber, but I think I'm going to dump clean rock all underneath here. I can move this dirt in, and I got the compaction wheel, but I don't feel like it's going to compact all that great. But what I will do is rake some of this dirt down on the sides and just get it where it's right here by the pipe. So we'll probably put a little more rock than what we need to, but at least all that'll be in clean rock, and then I'll bed that whole thing right there. And like I said, I'll be pushing dirt in at the same time. While I'm filling it in, I'm going to leave that pipe underneath there until I get more of the clean rock on there. Then I can grab it and take it out before we cover it up. But we'll just kind of do it together where you got a little bit of clean and then a little bit of dirt. But yeah, I think this is going to work out a whole lot better than what she had, because it had like a 45, a 45, and then it almost went up to like a 90. So I mean, at least it's got consistent flow or fall right now. But yeah, minus cutting that one a little too short, it actually worked out pretty well. So let's start filling this thing in. Before my battery completely dies, I kind of thought I'd show my after. It's slicked up pretty good. This stuff is pumping bad, so it's probably going to settle. I'm probably going to come over here and I'll kind of slick that up with the bucket too, and then I'll just have to tell her we're going to have to check back in a couple months and see kind of how bad it settles, or if we need more dirt. But there's my clean out, and then 13.5 feet over that way is where it ties on to the sewer main. So she should be good to go for a little while, and we'll see if we can't get this ditch straightened back out. But came out pretty good for as soft and muddy as everything is. So like I said, now I'm just gonna try to jump up there. I think I don't know, there's maybe a line of trees or something, because this house was destroyed. All these were in the 2011 tornado, and the house got built back the end of 11 or beginning of 12. So I think there was, like I said, tree line or fence line or something, or both, but there's some holes and some stumps and junk like that. We're going to try to use that a little bit, smooth out, track it down, and then clean all the mud off everything and call it a night. We'll just catch you on the next one.